Wait. Do you actually think that flat earthers believe we're on a disc out in space? Oh, okay, so you are misinformed. Well, if you didn't know, flat earthers don't believe in an edge, so nobody's gonna be surfing or finding the edge of the earth anytime soon. Why assume that there's an edge to the flat earth when there's no edge to space? And if you've been misled to believe that we think that there's an edge to our level Earth that we live on, no, dude, there's a shoreline, bro. Antarctica. And here's all the pictures for everyone that keeps asking, like, where's the picture of the shoreline? Where's the picture of the edge? This is as far as we can go out, okay, until they start shooting people. And do you think I'm joking? I am not joking at all. No independent exploration is allowed beyond the Black Circle, beyond the 60th south latitude, okay? You go past this, just look up videos of people doing it. But in reality, Antarctica isn't a continent that's on the bottom side of a ball. It's actually an ice wall that encompasses the level Earth that we live on, containing all of the ocean water. What, you thought 500 billions of gallons of water was sticking to an oblate spheroid that's spinning? Whoa! No one in history believed the Earth was flat. And you may say, well then give me one proof that the Earth is flat. Come on, like show me one proof. Like I've seen curvature from a plane, man. Notice here, 200, about 300 miles is 11 miles of curvature. 200, how much do you think 273 would be? Like around 9? Have a look at the current world record distance photograph. 273 miles away. That's 9.4 miles of missing curvature. And I can already hear all the heliosexuals in the comments. Dude, the Earth's not a parabola, bro. This was from Zetetic Astronomy, Samuel Rowbotham's book. He was a flat earther. This isn't even our curvature model. And what I'd say to that, every single curvature model is within feet, under 1,000 miles. And we were talking about 273. You know, now that I think about it, sea level is a great description, overall description of the Earth that we live on. Sea level, because all of the sea is at the same level. You think sea level makes sense on a constantly curving ocean? No container, no level water, constantly curving. I don't know. It could look something more like this, but if you want more content like this popping up on your For You page and you're following, make sure you're following me here and check out my bio for my link tree. It's got my podcast that we're coming out with. Without a doubt, the #1 question I get on my channel is, Caleb, how are you a flat earther when every time we look into space, we see spherical objects? Are you sure? Are you sure that these telescopes that you're looking through aren't just condensing the image to make these planets look physical? Let's see what happens when we remove the computers from the equation. Jupiter. Venus. So you want something really easy to understand that the Earth isn't a spinning ball orbiting the sun. Well, all I'll need is Polaris and the Georgia Guidestones. And I know, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to use rocks that had to keep the population under 500 million. I know, terrible, but you're gonna see why in just a second. So if you weren't aware, Polaris stays in the exact same spot in our night sky, and during the day we just can't see it, and it has for thousands of years. And if you want to say that there was another North Star, I'm calling pseudoscience right away. Extraordinary claims in absence of extraordinary evidence, like for real. But it gets way worse. Not only does Polaris stay in the exact same location in the sky, the Georgia Guidestones had a hole drilled into it that sat on Polaris 24/7, every single day and night. How is that possible if we're doing this? Do you know how much synchronicity is in our sky? The sun goes around the level plane that we live on every 24 hours to create day. The moon phases to create months. The stars realign in the exact same location every single year, once a year. Same thing with the Orion Belt. It aligns above the pyramids in Giza every year, once a year. I want you to just look at this and think, would there be any synchronicity in the sky if we were actually on a ball doing this? Would the Georgia Guidestones be able to line up with Polaris constantly if we were actually doing this? Now let's jump into reality. The North Star is fixed here in the firmament. The stars, the sun, and the moon rotate above us. The Earth is fixed and motionless. That's how all of the constellations have stayed in the exact same shape, because the stars and everything are apparently doing their own orbits around their own black holes. And how would they stay in the exact same shape? Ursa Minor, Ursa Major, Polaris, Cephas. There's just simply no other explanation for how Polaris would stay in the exact same spot. And you'll see the trails when they get farther away from the North Star, they get longer. It's because they're all fixed in the firmament, doing a circular motion over our head. Everyone thinks that the luminaries in the sky are a good proof that the Earth is a ball, but I'd say otherwise. I even searched Constellation's Earth model trying to figure out how you guys believe this works, and the first picture that pops up is a flat Earth. But if you want more truth content, make sure you're following me, and check my Instagram and my link tree for my old videos because I got banned 2 days ago. When somebody tells me they don't believe that some of our ancestors were a lot taller and bigger than we thought, it kind of blows my mind. Not only did our ancestors depict these people over and over again in our history, but we have literal pictures and remains of giants. What, am I supposed to believe this instrument was made for a normal-sized person to play? Who was this door made for? Seems a little unnecessary to make such a big door. Just what if this lie is meant to hide this truth? What, you think normal-sized people with horse and carriage hoisted this bell? I'm not taking what the mainstream narrative is feeding down my throat, if you get what I'm saying. I don't believe that our ancestors hand-chiseled all of this detail. I think what we've been handed through the history books might be a lie. Probably a lot more of this going on in the realm that we're not aware of. I think it's time to start asking the people in authority logical questions. What was going on in our past that you don't want us to find out about? What were these people doing? After seeing all of the magnificent architecture that's popped up all over the world from the 1500s to the 1800s, I have a really hard time thinking that these people just used hand tools to do all of this. The world is a stage, None of these presidents have any actual power of the corporation. They're just following a script. None of these history books are going to tell you the truth of what our ancestors actually had going on. The world is a stage, and the lies are being perpetuated by NASA and these astronauts, while your head's being filled with theories, pictures, and stories that nobody can confirm or see for themselves. You do realize there's only supposedly been less than 600 people to space, but we've been going since the 60s. When we ask the questions, we're never getting a straight answer. NASA, never a straight answer. Not a space agency. They've convinced us of this lie. Who knows what they're hiding? If you're seeing this video, it's for you. Look, I didn't even use hashtags. But can we talk about something just real quick? 60 seconds of your time. Gravity, right? Holds trillions, gallons of water to our Earth that spins 1,000 miles per hour, orbits the Earth at over 66,000 miles an hour, and chases the sun at 500,000 miles an hour. Everything's sticking to the ball because of gravity, right? Why doesn't gravity affect planets? Why doesn't gravity hold the ISS back down if gravity's constantly pulling towards it? Seriously, makes no sense. Gravity is pretty strong, man. Keeping all the oceans sticking to an oblate spheroid, while simultaneously too weak to pull the morning dew off a blade of grass. It just doesn't make any sense. Just ignoring birds. And these guys are a great proof that there's no such thing as gravity, but welcome to reality. If you're seeing this video, you're gonna want to stick around till the end. I'm gonna be going over 15 documents from NASA themselves, talking about flat Earth. And here's our first. All of these documents you can find yourself online. 12th page, very bottom paragraph. Within the program, the nonlinear equations of motion include 12 states representing a rigid aircraft flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Document number 2. This report documents the derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model for a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Number 3. In this paper, the rigid body equations of motion over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Also says it later in this document. The DPS equations of motion use 4 assumptions that simply the program, while maintaining its fidelity for most maneuvers and applications, point mass modeling, non-turbulent atmospheres, zero side forces, and a non-rotating Earth. Shout out Timothy for this one, and June 1997. The idealizing assumptions made are the following: a point mass vehicle, a flat non-rotating Earth, and I hate that they say a constant gravity here with the SR-71. Like the SR-71 goes like 2,300 miles an hour. That's 2,300 miles in 1 hour. That would mean it would have to dip to the curvature of the Earth in 60 seconds, like 9.3 miles, which definitely gravity's not doing that. So that's the only one I don't agree with. Next one from our guys over at NASA. In addition to show above requirements, this simulation assumes a vehicle with 6 degrees of freedom and aerodynamic symmetry in roll, and the missile position in space is computed relative to a flat, non-rotating Earth. Next one, keep up with me. The nonlinear equations of motion used are 6 degree of freedom equations with the stationary atmosphere and flat, non-rotating Earth assumptions. More than assumptions, people. Just reality. Keep going, let's keep going. Keep it rolling, I'll keep it rolling. Here's the next. Flight dynamics of a rigid aircraft flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Next one. The helicopter equations of motion are given in a body axis with respect to a flat, non-rotating Earth. But I think I've made my point. NASA, these guys, they know the truth. That's why this ellipsoid that they paint in Photoshop for you guys never looks the same. Your guys' ball literally violates the second law of thermodynamics, man. But while they're laughing at you, literally putting the flat Earth map in your face, split into 33 different sections, by the way, I'm not laughing. If if you're not laughing anymore, follow me, comment, let me know. Now, if you're not aware, there's some serious problems with Antarctica. And when you really start looking into this continent, things get really weird. Like, why are they naming places Dome? Dome Argus, Valkyrie Dome, Dome A, Dome C. I don't know. Maybe there's a dome out there, but does anybody know who this guy is? Or this guy right here? Anybody know who this guy is? These two handsome guys are Captain Cook and James Clark Ross. They circumnavigated Antarctica, and get this, the Antarctic shoreline, we're told, is about 11,000 to 12,000 miles, and when these guys circumnavigated, it took them 60,000 miles and up to 3 to 4 years. Are you seeing the problems that I have with this continent again? It's not a continent. It's an ice wall that surrounds us. It's about 200 feet tall and, again, about 50 to 60,000 miles long. But what's this up here? Antarctica Treaty. Huh. The Antarctic Treaty. You mean this one that's completely stopping anyone from independently exploring the Antarctic wall and seeing if there's more resources and land out there, like Admiral Byrd suggested? That's the exact treaty that I'm talking about. And it literally writes right in it that the provisions of the present treaty shall apply to the area south of the 60th south latitude, which is this black line right here. Yeah, 100%. We are being gate kept. We're being gate kept in here by NASA for over 50 years. Here's another, thing to think about the North and South Pole. They should be pretty similar due to the tilt of the Earth and it precessing and orbiting. But one's in water and one's on ice. And the North Pole can sustain life pretty well, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of things living out in Antarctica other than some penguins hanging out on the edge. And by edge, I mean over here and in places I don't even think that this is possible. I think only here where they'll take you on these little trips that cost $10,000. Like this one right here, $13,790. And this is all they do. They come down here, you get to see some penguins, and they turn around and go home. So don't ever ask another flat earther again when anybody's going to be sailing off the edge of the earth or where it is, because there is no edge to the earth. All we know is there's an ice wall surrounding us that we're not allowed to go explore. And if I need to remind you, none of our ancestors thought we were on a precessing, spinning, orbiting ball chasing the sun. They actually all thought it was flat with a hard, fast firmament over our heads. But what do you think? Flat or round? Make sure to follow me. Scientist shares new star photo, but admits it's actually much closer to home. What is this guy talking about? Photo of Proxima. And then down at the very bottom, it says the French scientist apologized after he posted a photo of what he called the closest star to the sun, but what was it? A Spanish sausage. I'm sure everyone was just, How many retweets? How many likes? Not good. It's just that easy to fool everyone. Everyone is literally that gullible. They just worship anything that comes from these observatories and telescopes named Lucifer and things like that. But look at this, man. Can you make any sense of this, guys? What the hell? North America. You like water, guys. Don't get attached to spinning balls. The Earth's flat. If you weren't aware, they're showing us the truth in the movies, TV shows, commercials, etc. And if you thought Flat Earth was any different, you're sadly mistaken. I'm going to showcase just a few examples of them showing you the firmament, Flat Earth. But before I do, follow my backup channel, linking it right here, and check my link tree for my Telegram channel I made yesterday. But enjoy.
It's the edge of the world!
Hey up. Panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
Personally, I don't think it's possible that we're on an oblate spheroid chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour. Let me show you what about 6,600 looks like. Don't blink. And I've gotta believe we're doing all of this at way faster speeds, but don't feel it at all and can't measure it. There's a reason they stopped flying this thing around. The SR-71, baby's top speed, 2,200 miles an hour. Between point A and point B, there's 2,200 miles. There's also, supposedly, 570 miles of curvature or drop between the 2 points. That would be 9.5 miles of droppage a minute to stay at the same altitude, and which makes no sense. And to explain that, people say gravity. Also, that'd be 836 feet a second. Maybe the Earth's flat and it's just flying at the same altitude over a flat, level plane, aeroplaning over a plane. Lighthouses can be seen from up to like 90 nautical miles away, which, if you've ever played with a curvature calculator, you can see the problems we're having here. This doesn't help, NASA. Us finding stuff like this doesn't help your case. And this should honestly scare you, that they're this confident to do these type of poses in front of you. The guy that started NASA was a Nazi from Germany, and when he died, threw Psalms 19:1 on his headstone. That literally reads that the heavens declare the glory of God and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Why's a Nazi talking about the firmament? The clouds on this image, these images, not photographs, are copy and pasted over and over, which doesn't inspire confidence in me. Everyone keeps asking me to send up a balloon into the sky to see. We've already done it. And also, why does the horizon rise to eye level? If we were on a ball, it'd do this. If you didn't know, Neil deGrasse Tyson literally said that the Earth is a pear. Yeah, thinks it looks like this. Can't make up their minds. Pluto, the cartoon, and Pluto, the planet, were discovered in the same year. If you didn't know, the ISS isn't orbiting the Earth 250 miles away. This is a plane that they fly by the moon and everything to mess with everyone. There's no way that the angular size of the ISS would be possible to see. It's literally the same size as a Boeing, but that's 253 miles. Max height of the commercial planes flying is 7.2, which, yeah, just do the math. Seriously, think about it. Quite simply, we can see too far. The farthest photograph ever taken, 275 miles. That's 9.4 miles of missing curvature. The Earth's flat. Do eclipses prove that we are on a ball orbiting the sun? Absolutely not, and I'm gonna explain why. So the sun and the moon perfectly eclipse each other on a schedule that we can time down to the perfect second. Also, visually, they look the exact same size, and they are. That's why they can perfectly do this. But what science will tell you is that the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, but is also 400 times farther away from the Earth, causing them to visually look the same size, but apparently they're not. They also admit that this is insanity. Scientists say that the odds of this happening elsewhere in the universe is about 1 in 1 billionth of a chance, because it never happened. Also, you've got to believe that this all perfectly realigns every 19-18 years from the Big Bang. And if you still think that this makes any sense, you've probably never seen the three-body problem. No matter what physics program, we put three bodies of mass doing gravitational orbits around each other, they never realigned ever again. Here's one example, and here's a second example. How am I supposed to believe that we've got 8 planets orbiting our sun? Those planets have moons, and somehow all of these planets' gravitational poles are not affecting each other, pulling their orbits off of the sun's orbit. Like, some of those planets are pretty big. But if you're new here, there's no such thing as planets. We're not on a planet either. Minus the T minus, like NASA says. Plane. We're on a level plane. And I've gotta believe this is all going on. How does Polaris fit into this? Never moving for centuries. Staying in the exact same location. And again, why isn't everything collapsing into the sun? Honestly, I think our ancestors were onto something. The only way that they can simulate what's happening in the sky is by recreating the firmament. The irony. While we were doing all those motions, when the Georgia Guidestones used to be up, there was a hole that stayed on Polaris permanently, all the time, every single day, every single night. How does that make sense on this model? You could just do one thing for me. Look into these missions. Just even a little bit. Just look into them. There's no curvature to the Earth, people. NASA's just using fisheye lenses. This is a great image to show after showing the three-body problem. With all the stars in the sky, and they're supposedly doing orbits and things like that, our sky should not look like this. All the stars doing circular motions around Polaris, Polaris staying in the exact same spot. Everything's gravity would be affecting each other, and yeah. But here's a question for the heliosexuals. If during a lunar eclipse we're in between the moon and the sun, why do we see them both above the horizon? You want an easy way to figure out whether you're on a ball or on a level plane. Well, here's an easy one. You guys understand longitude and latitude lines, right? If I were to tell you that Ursa Minor, Ursa Major, and the Polaris star are visible from the 30th south latitude. How are people from the 30th south latitude down here seeing a star that's aligned with the North Pole? And everybody loves to say that the Southern Cross proves that we're on a globular testicular ball. But it doesn't prove anything, actually. It actually would only make sense that the Southern Cross should be seeable every single part of the night by all of those areas, and it's not. But that's the part the heliosexuals leave out. You can only see the Southern Cross at very specific times in these 3 locations. Completely possible on a level plane, guys. Hey guys, you might know me as KCD Industry on TikTok. Well, I'm no longer KCD Industry on TikTok. Why? Oh, well, I opened TikTok about 20 minutes ago and it said account status logged out. I'm like, what the hell? I just need to log back in? Okay. Oh, I wasn't logged out. I was permanently banned. Again. If you've been here long enough, you may remember us hitting 147,000 followers. The good old days. Then we got banned. I guess it's time to start our flat earth journey all over again. What, you think I'm mad? You think I'm sad? Think you can break my spirit? No, my followers are just lost. They'll find me. But with your guys' help, I think that we can help a lot of my lost followers find me again. So hit the like button, comment, share, favorite this, and repost if you're able to, if you feel willing, and maybe duet or stitch this and let everyone know that I'm banned again for my extremely G-rated content. I don't even swear. But also, the heliocentric model completely violates the second law of thermodynamics, so look into that. I'll say you've got to go so high to see the curvature of the Earth because we're so small. But then again, just contradict themselves completely and say that this is curvature right here. I don't know. But if you guys want to see all my old content from my first and second page, make sure to check out my Instagram. I am going to be trying to force you guys over there. I think this shit's getting crazy over here. And this is an axe on a tree. Not like, what else would it be? Is Mars a round red planet reflecting light over 200 million miles through a space vacuum, or is it a lot closer to home? Here's an image of what they're saying Mars's surface looks like, and when I went on my search engine and just searched Devon Island, it looks kind of similar. And also, this was the first image that pops up. So I said, let me investigate some more. This Devon Island place seems a little odd. So I looked at it on Google Earth, and you're not gonna believe what I found. Yeah, I was looking into this at like 2 a.m. last night, but you are not gonna believe what is just played right there as soon as you zoom in. Just rewatch the video if you want to zoom in on yourself. Just download Google Earth on your phone and you can do this yourself. But I go into Street View, click here, and the first thing that we're gonna see here is a couple trucks, some people hanging out by some four-wheelers. But what is that a NASA sign on that? What is Mars 1? NASA? Moon 1? NASA? Mars? A lot closer to home. It's in Canada, people. Seriously. By the way, this lie makes no sense if you just like logically think about it. They're telling you that they've had a little drone on Mars since 1997. They've been driving that thing around, but we can't go back to the moon. This thing just traveled through a space vacuum and perfectly landed a drone, slowed down, and it just really, God, like, think about it. Whenever you're talking about Mars, you've always got to bring up the book by Dr. Werner von Braun, literally talking about a guy named Elon colonizing Mars. All that they're trying to do is convince you guys that space is real and that this planet sucks and that we should go elsewhere. We have all we need here. We haven't even discovered all of it since the Antarctic Treaties stopping all of us. But anyway, Mars also, they go to a couple other areas to take pictures. Like, you guys seriously just believe these people are remote controlling a drone on Mars since 2003? A rock that's orbiting the sun gets over 200 million miles away. Like, just think about it. But in my opinion, I don't think anybody's going to be landing on Mars anytime soon. This is what it looks like when us normal people look at it, and this is the computer-generated images that NASA will throw in your face. None of what's in the sky is as described by NASA. CGI. Reality. But if you want more content like this popping up on your For You page and you're following, make sure to follow me before you head out of here, and make sure to leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. Hey, you got a second? You may think Flat Earth is stupid, but NASA? They sure don't. Linear aircraft model for a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Number 2 in this paper, the rigid body equation of motion over a flat, non-rotating Earth. This is a good one. The program, while maintaining its fidelity for the most maneuvers and applications, point mass modeling, non-turbulent atmosphere, zero side forces, and a non-rotating Earth. Here's another one. I wonder what point A is. The Earth is flat and non-rotating. I wonder if that's why Obama was always like making fun of flat earthers, so like it would become like herd mentality. Also, like maybe us taking long distance photography photos 273 miles away. The top peak of these mountains that we're seeing is 3 miles high, okay? So there's 9 miles of missing curvature, so if you add the peaks of the mountain, that's 6 miles. The Earth's flat. For anybody with a conscience still, this should be obvious. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And these guys are, yeah, stare at this picture too long. I know that they brainwashed everybody in school. Like, no, everybody thought Copernicus, Pythagoras. We all thought that the Earth was a ball forever, man. No. Whoa, they lied. They lied to us. I'm sorry. They lied to you. They lied to me. All of our ancestors left us pictures, and none of them were drawn balls. I've said it before. I will say it again. Something's going on at the North Pole. This is what our ancestors drew. And this is what I'm getting on Google Earth. No way in hell. Let me go check right now. Density, guys. Density, buoyancy, electromagnetism, observable, repeatable, measurable forces. Gravity is not holding Australians to the bottom side of an oblate spheroid that spins 1,000. No, just because Freemasons say it doesn't mean it's true. Seriously. Think about it. Lighthouses, right? We can see these things from like almost 100 miles away, dude. There's no way we're on a ball. That's 6,666 feet of missing curvature. Over a mile, man. They're laughing at you guys, okay? Yeah, you get it? They're laughing at you. That's a flat Earth map. That's the UN logo. Look it up. This model defies the second law of thermodynamics every day, okay? Seriously, check out my link tree. Check out my Instagram. It's got my old videos. Follow me here. I just got banned. Have a good night. Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. Does anybody think it's weird that all of the astronauts that have been to the moon, all the dudes that have walked on the moon apparently, are Freemasons? Like, I was like, okay, like maybe one or two, like that's like still a little weird, but every single one? And we know exactly what lodge they go to, what rank. Yeah, Tejon Lodge number 104, huh? Colorado Springs, James, huh? Here's Buzz Aldrin's lodge number right there. Edgar Mitchell. Yeah. James Irwin. Yeah. We got Leroy out here repping lodge number 82 out of Colorado. Coincidence. Don't believe in those. But I don't think anybody's landing on the moon. We literally see the blue sky through it. We can picture stars through it. Like, it's not a physical object, dude. It's like a plasma, a holographic projection. I know exactly what you're thinking. Man, those flat earthers, they're a different breed. We can see the curvature of the Earth from planes. Like, seriously, get on a plane, go travel. Have they not traveled at all? Like, look at the Felix Baumgartner jump for the Red Bull jump. But what if I were to tell you that the priest of scientism himself has admitted that nobody's seen the curvature of the Earth from a commercial airplane flight, and Felix Baumgartner's jump is a fisheye lenses? But hear it from him himself.
And the dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon, what's his name? Felix Baumgartner, he would have been about 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe. That's his edge of space jump. Not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he's, wow, he's in space. Look at that. No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth. If you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball, you just don't. That stuff is flat.
And before you say prove it, like show us the horizon being completely horizontal at 120,000 feet. I'm about to, okay? But your logic isn't making a lot of sense here, guys. I thought this was curvature, but we've got to go clear up here to see curvature, and we still don't. But watch this little film I made. How many level horizons to create an oblate spheroid, guys? You guys were so sure that you were seeing the curvature of the Earth from planes. But sadly, you were just mistaken. The windows are round, guys. There's no convexity to the level plane that we live on. And if you've been waiting for the high altitude balloons, wait no longer. 120,000 feet plus. Not an inch of curvature. 60,000. Again, over 100,000. Why does the horizon always rise to eye level? If we were on a ball, it would do this. Time to wait. But if you want more truth popping up on your For You page, make sure you're following me. My account just got banned yesterday at 80,000 followers, so I've got a couple people that are probably looking for me, and check out my link tree in my bio. Are you guys ready to hear the uncensored version of Flat Earth? You may know me as KCD Industry 2. And if you've been around long enough, just KCD Industry. You can just call me the most censored flat earther on this app. I've had over 230,000 followers. Just take it away from me. But if you're getting sick of having to track me down and hit that follow button, I've got something for you. Me and Dare, the guy tagged down below, we're starting a podcast together, and if you guys support us, we're going to be getting things like this 6SE telescope and doing our own observations of the wandering stars and stars. We'll be getting drones to observe the sun not setting over a physical horizon. And of course, I'm not going to leave out the P1000. We'll be doing live streams with this and the telescopes from different locations in the United States. If we get enough support, I'll be live streaming every equinox trying to catch a lunar wave. But if you're ready to see us deconstruct this globe, make sure to let me know in the comment section, follow me, and check out my link tree in my bio. It's got my Instagram where I've got a few of my OG videos from my other channels that, like I showed you, went down. So you want to know what I think of Elon Musk being a flat earther? This psychopath? One of the worst of them all. This guy not doing anything good or anything honest. Remember that one time he told everyone that he said to Tesla to orbit the Earth? There was a glitch. Let's check it out. You know it's real because it looks so fake. Remember those words, Elon? Oh yeah? Or, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Remember the jacket that he wore to the Met Gala in 2018? What's that say on his jacket? You do understand what Novus Ordo Seclorum means. In Latin, right? New World Order. Yeah, this guy's a Republican Bill Gates, dude. And he's trying to put brain chips in everybody's brain. You do realize you put that brain chip in your brain, you are not a human anymore. Legally, you're transhuman. So human rights, better throw that shit out the window. Have you not seen the clip of Elon Musk's spaceship scraping against the firmament? Okay, I'll give it to you. While you're watching it though, think water. This clip in and of itself basically affirmed to me and woke me up to that there is 100% something up there and we can definitely not leave. And here is a live video of them trying to break it. Look, here's the ship coming off of the firmament. Look at it. It's going to go back onto it now. Look at this. Look at this. People just watch this shit. Look at this. They are trying to cause a flood. It gets good. It gets really good right here, though. Yeah, zoom in, buddy. Get in there real close. Look at these ripples. Does that look like it's scraping against water? Oh, shit. What in the... So if Elon Musk were to give me a call and say, hey, buddy, you want to go out for some drinks? I want to show you this is all real. I probably wouldn't take his offer. Whoa. Side note here. Vladimir Putin makes new Tartaria archive public? This lie is just as big as this one. Nobody is seeing curvature. Nobody can demonstrate gravity. Antarctica, not a continent, it's an ice wall that surrounds us 360 degrees, containing the water. because water always needs a container. Now, I'm not saying this as proof, but you might find this a little odd. Have you ever seen the Illuminati card game? This thing's like $1,000 now. There's some pretty interesting cards. Obviously, my least favorite card. But I gotta show you two of my favorites. NASA. Give 4 to any attempt to control any space group. And look at this. Does that look like a soundstage? And the mother of all Illuminati cards. Flat Earthers. People laugh, but the Flat Earthers know something. NASA has been proven to not be as honest as people thought. Pictures like this don't help with credibility, guys. And neither do ones like this. Space is fake, and the Earth is flat. How to understand that the Earth isn't spinning in 60 seconds using planes. We're told that the Earth spins 1,000 miles an hour. So, hypothetically, and that's the only way that I can speak about the spin of the Earth because it's all hypothetical. But if we took a flight from California to New York and then from New York back to California, science tells us that the flight going from California to New York isn't longer because you'd think it would be because the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour with us going east to New York, but it's simply not because apparently gravity pulls the atmosphere and the plane perfectly with the spin. But you guys have got serious problems going back from New York to California though. We'd be going against the spin of the Earth, meaning the flight should be shorter, but I've looked at them, they're like minutes off. Maybe that's why NASA always assumes a flat, non-rotating Earth in their documents. Okay guys, if you're seeing this, this is gonna be a good one. You're gonna want to stick around till the end. Today, I want to talk about gravity. And when I say I want to talk about gravity, I want to talk about how fictitious, how fake gravity is. So fake! Strong enough to hold the oceans down, but too weak to pull the morning dew off a blade of grass. Let's keep going. Next example of how gravity makes absolutely zero sense. Strong enough to hold trillions of pounds of water to a ball that's spinning 1,000 miles per hour while orbiting the sun at 66,616 miles per hour, yet weak enough to let seagulls fly. Gravity. One of those things that just keeps the moons at perfect distances and elliptical orbits going around the other planets. Supposedly, I don't believe in planets if you ask me, honestly. I don't believe in planets. I think they're just luminaries. But if they were planets and there were moons orbiting these planets, why doesn't the sun pull those moons off of their elliptical orbits? Why don't the planets affect the moons of any of the other planets? Why don't the planets affect the other planets' orbit around the sun? This doesn't make any sense. This is just for predictive programming. Here's Trump touching a ball, a bunch of people. I don't know what's going on here. I'd look into it. This force is literally laughable. Like, when someone tells me they believe in gravity, I immediately am just like, oh, I should probably tell them to stop brushing their teeth with fluoride. Obviously, nobody understands buoyancy and density anymore. Why aren't we teaching it in school? Why? Why are we teaching gravity? I don't understand. I am not allowing my children to be taught I know. I've got you here. Where in the hell is the curvature of the Earth? Where is it? But if this isn't a physical horizon and it's just an optical horizon with a converging point and vanishing point, where is the curvature of the Earth? I've been looking for it. No, bro, like seriously, we're having problems here. The math is not mathing. We should not be seeing this mountain range at 190 miles away. Where are the engines on the satellites? Where are they? Why? How do these things spin? How do they choose which direction these things face? How do they choose which piece of land they geostationarily orbit if they don't have any engines, propulsion systems? I am not following. This is all starting to seem like a bunch of bullshit. Maybe we're on a flat plane that's stationary. The number one question that I get as a flat earther has to be, how are you a flat earther when whenever we look through telescopes, we see spherical objects? But what you probably don't know is a lot of those telescopes are constantly reflecting the image to condense them to make them look more physical, or they're just straight up connected to computers and laptops that give you the final image right away. But don't worry, I've got some exclusive footage from my buddy David Shane, and I'm tagging him right here down below, and my second channel because way too many of you people already followed me. 40,000 in 7 days. Thank you, but I don't know what's going to happen, so make sure you follow my second page, but enjoy this footage from David's telescopes. Mars, as your eye would see it. Jupiter in its true form. Venus being this bright might tell you that it's giving off its own light. Maybe it's not reflecting the sun's light. With a red filter, notice how bright this planet is. These stars aren't what you've been told. And this planet that you think we're on, every single photo that you've ever seen is actually an image produced from a computer. What if it's real? We're not actually on a ball. Here's a Google Pixel 2 commercial exposing the truth right to your face, but nobody was looking. The joke's on you. Is the International Space Station actually orbiting the Earth at 17,500 miles an hour? Or is it a lot closer to home? A lot of my Instagram followers have been sending me this post very misled, thinking that this thing's actually real. Here's the details of the photograph, and here's the ISS apparently transiting the sun. So I'm supposed to believe that we can resolve the angular size of this hunk of metal that's 250 miles away from the Earth? Let me put this into perspective. If you weren't aware, the International Space Station is apparently the same dimensions basically as a Boeing plane. The max height of a Boeing plane is about 7.2 miles. Look at the size of the plane. 253 miles. Look at... Like, you guys actually think that we would be able to resolve the angular size of the ISS? Genuinely. Come on. Just like, think about it. And if the International Space Station is actually in space, I thought that space was empty. How is this astronaut's helmet filling with water? NASA alarmed that astronauts' spacesuits keep filling up with water. Starting to think that these guys might be filming this stuff in a pool with a green screen or blue screen. I started trying to connect the dots. NASA, on their website, literally admits that they have an exact replica of the ISS in a pool. Just like something to think about, you know. But you really think that as the sun pulls us through space at 500k miles an hour, you think this thing's just tagging along, huh? Like all the other satellites. And I know what you're thinking, like, why does this matter? Like, I gotta go to work tomorrow and pay my rent still. Like, who cares? What if you didn't? What if we weren't giving so much money to the government? $19 billion a year. Sprinkled with some CGI, guys. That's what we're getting. $19 billion. But if you just look into the ISS, you'll see problems. And if you just critically think about it, a bullet travels at 1,700 miles an hour, and the ISS travels 10 times faster. And I'm supposed to think that they can get on and off of it? But if you were to ask me my opinion on what we're seeing here and in other photographs of the ISS apparently transiting the moon and sun, the government's admitted they have scopes that can see through concrete walls and read heartbeats. You don't think they could retrofit a plane to look like the ISS and fly it past the moon or sun? But picture you're following me and follow my backup right now. Is the moon actually a rock that's tidally locked to the Earth that spins, but we never see the other side of it for ever? One thing that'll tell you, we weren't taught anything, about the history of the moon. There was a recorded time in our history where there wasn't a moon in the sky at all. According to numerous ancient accounts, there was a time when the moon did not exist in the sky. Read the full thing. There was a time when no moon could be seen in the night skies, in describing the history of Greek region of Arcadia. In the area since very old times, at a time when the moon did not exist. Maybe I missed that day in public school, but I don't feel like a lot of people don't know that. Let's go back to March 15th of 1848. On my first looking into the telescope, a star of about the 7th magnitude was some minutes of a degree distant from the moon's dark limb. I saw that its occultation by the moon was inevitable. The star, instead of disappearing the moment the moon's edge came into contact with it, apparently glided on the moon's dark surface, as if it had been seen through a transparent moon, or as if a star were between me and the moon. I have seen a similar apparent projection several times. The cause of this phenomenon is involved in impenetrable mystery. Yeah, not only are we seeing through the moon during the day when it's out, but we're seeing stars through it at night. And I've got videos of it as well. Check it out.
What is your theory?
Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is plasma.
September 27th, 2015, I took pictures of the eclipse of the moon. I set up my 5-inch telescope using a 17mm eyepiece and took these snapshots. You will notice in the pictures, stars show through the dark portions of the moon. And as I go through them, I'll blow them up a little larger so you can see these stars. I'll point to one. There's a blue star here, a white star. There's another star right here that shows up quite.
Some even theorize that the moon is a direct reflection of the Earth's continents, and apparently there's more that we don't know about. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments section, and make sure you're following me. And also follow my backup. Way too many of you people are following me already. And have a good day. Yeah, that's right. Today, we're going to be going over the 7 ways to identify pseudoscience so everyone can realize what's going on around us in this realm, on the internet, on their phone. What is happening? Number 1, the use of psychobabble. Words that sound scientific and professional but are used incorrectly in a misleading manner. Maria, love your lives. I see people doing this all the time. Not good. Really obvious one. A substantial reliance on anecdotal evidence. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, I'm literally going to explain anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal evidence is basically personal experience. See, pseudoscience relies on anecdotal evidence from personal experiences of other people. Example, we've got to believe that a bunch of Freemasons landed on the moon, and this because we don't have the telemetry data to prove it. Unfortunately, I didn't bring any of that back. Oh, 3, one of my favorites. Extraordinary claims in absence of extraordinary evidence, like claiming that the Earth is a ball on a tilt of an axis, orbiting the sun, chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour, and then our galaxy is supposedly going over 1 million miles an hour through a space vacuum infinitely that's expanding apparently, but no one can prove any of that or has any scientific evidence of it. It's like it's pseudoscience. Claims which cannot be proven false. This image should help out with this one. The Big Bang Theory, I can't like time travel back to the explosion. Evolution, that we spawn from a single cell organism, seriously. The general, I'm not skipping, insanity. Heliocentric theory, yeah, I go over this one a bit. It's all pseudoscience. Didn't you know? The layers of the Earth is also a pseudoscience. They're saying we know what's down to the core, the center of the Earth, but we've only dug 7 miles? Like, whoa, slow your horses. Way too much pseudoscience going on here. Claims that counter established scientific fact. Self-explanatory. Absence of adequate peer review. Like, get some flat earthers to go up into space. Stop just sending Freemasons. Claims that are repeated despite being refuted. Like the Earth is a ball. There's been flat earthers since like ever. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen my other videos, but like all of our ancestors. And then NASA tells us well, here's another quick pseudoscience for you. The sea levels are supposedly rising. One last way to identify pseudoscience before you go. Any body of knowledge purported to be scientific or supported by science, but which fails to comply with the scientific method. But if you want a lot less pseudoscience on your For You page, make sure you're following me. Seriously, I keep getting banned for some reason, like I'm pretty G-rated. And check out my link tree in case that happens again. I've got all my other socials there. Now, I'm sure that you've seen this picture before. The Chicago skyline being seen from 60 miles away. Mainstream media told everybody that this was nothing but a superior mirage, so I said I better study mirages a little bit, and I did last night. And you're not gonna believe what I found. Well, let's get the basics down. There's an inferior mirage, which mirages things down, the virtual image down, and then there's a superior mirage, which mirages things up, but reflects it. This is due to cold air stacking onto warm air and vice versa. Give you some examples. Superior mirage, another superior mirage. And if you're a critical thinker, you're already thinking, how is this a superior mirage if this is a superior mirage, if it reflects the image upside down? They're actually saying that this is a Fata Morgana mirage. You can read here about them. Here's an example of a Fata Morgana mirage. Another example. And now you're thinking, okay, like, makes a little more sense, but why would it be directly connected to the skyline? If it wasn't the skyline, it would be up. Like, I don't know, still problems, but what if I told you that this type of mirage isn't happening either, though? I messed with the contrast, the brightness, and other things, and I'm seeing the skyline again, guys. I'm wondering if this isn't the skyline here, and this is just a wind line that came through and caused the ripples in the water. And I did the same thing for the other picture. Do this yourself. And, is that the skyline actually right there? Right behind the boat going across? And this is again another wind line creating an optical illusion? I'd say yes. So guys, don't get misled when you're looking into superior mirages. This doesn't happen. Ever. You think that the bottom of this boat was perfectly just gonna be refracted into the sky, not connected, like like, dude, seriously, guys, you just magic, huh? They think you're so stupid. Seriously. They're saying that this is a superior mirage. The sun backlighting the Chicago skyline, they think you're this dumb. Really? Wow. And I'm not gonna name call today, but there's a specific heliosexual going around on lives saying that inferior mirages are the curvature of the Earth. No. Inferior mirages are the most common mirage that we'll see over the ocean. There's no curvature to the Earth. Look how obvious this is, though. Look at this Fata Morgana mirage. Oh, it's just a wind line. They tried to get away with this one too. They tried to tell you this one was too. This is a wind line coming through. This is water. This is reality. You want more content like this? Follow me and check out my link tree in my bio. Everybody remembers Felix Baumgartner's Edge of Space jump, right? Like, how is there flat earthers when we have plenty of video and picture of him up here, like 120,000 feet, seeing curvature? What if I were to tell you that that's not curvature of the Earth that we're seeing, but just wide-angle lenses? And even Neil deGrasse Tyson came out on Twitter and publicly on video saying that no one's seeing curvature from 120,000 feet. So, guys, please stop commenting that I should get on commercial planes. They fly a lot lower, but check it out yourself.
Well, when I was standing outside that capsule, it was a very quiet and peaceful moment, you know. At that moment, you look at the world, it looks very fragile. You could see the curvature of the Earth.
And that dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon, what's his name? Felix Baumgartner. He would have been about 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe. That's his edge of space jump. Only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide angle lens, which curves horizontal line. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, wow, he's in space. Look at that. No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball. You just don't. That stuff is flat.
So the next time that you're about to say that we're seeing curvature here, but we can't see curvature here, make sure that you stop yourself. It's funny what happens when you zoom in on our optical horizon. You just make the angular size of things bigger and they come back into frame. You can't see curvature from planes, and boats aren't going over the horizon. They're just getting too small to see. And don't forget the public statement by Brian Simmons, NASA's digital artist that designed the blue marble. It's photoshopped because it has to be. How many level horizons to create an oblate spheroid? You guys seriously need to try a lot harder. You left the hand tool. But if you want more truth content popping up on your For You page, make sure you're following me and check out my link tree so you don't lose me. I keep getting banned, so you may be asking yourself, how is this guy so sure that the Earth is flat? Flight paths makes it pretty obvious. Now, in this flight, they made a stop in Amsterdam, which on the globe would make no sense. Why wouldn't they just fly from here straight through and stop in Africa? Here's another one that won't make any sense. Why did they go all the way up to Calgary here when they could have landed, you know, somewhere in America? Okay, this one's gotta be seriously obvious to you guys. From London to Pakistan, and they emergency landing in Moscow. Why did they land it down here around and the most obvious one of all, my favorite, these guys landed in LA. If they had just look, guys, it's all. You still think that flat earthers think we're on a disc in space? Flat earthers definitely don't think that we're on a disc with an edge. We don't know how far this thing goes out. We don't know if it looks like this. And unfortunately, none of us are allowed to go and poke around and find out. No exploration past this line, the 60th south latitude. Another thing about the globe that might make you take a double take is how many sixes surround it. It's been recorded that we can see Polaris, Ursa Minor, and Ursa Major from as low as the 30th south latitude. Yeah, how's that work on your globe? Emergency flight path landings is one of the most obvious ways to prove that we're on a level plane. eyes to see can tell there's something wrong with this model. But make sure you're following me because I keep getting banned, and check out my link tree for my other socials. Hey guys, you might know me as KCD Industry on TikTok. Well, I'm no longer KCD Industry on TikTok. Why? Oh, well, I opened TikTok about 20 minutes ago and it said account status logged out. I'm like, what the hell? I just need to log back in? Okay. Oh, I wasn't logged out. I was permanently banned. Again. If you've been here long enough, you may remember us hitting 147,000 followers. The good old days. Then we got banned. I guess it's time to start our flat earth journey all over again. What, you think I'm mad? You think I'm sad? Think you can break my spirit? No! My followers are just lost. They'll find me. But with your guys' help, I think that we can help a lot of my lost followers find me again. So, hit the like button, comment, share, favorite this, and repost if you're able to, if you feel willing, and maybe duet or stitch this and let everyone know that I'm banned again for my extremely G-rated content. I don't even swear. But also, the heliocentric model completely violates the second law of thermodynamics, so look into that. I'll say you've got to go so high to see the curvature of the Earth because we're so small. But then again, just contradict themselves completely and say that this is curvature right here. I don't know. But if you guys want to see all my old content from my first and second page, make sure to check out my Instagram. I am going to be trying to force you guys over there. I think this shit's getting crazy over here. And this is an axe on a tree. Not like, what else would it be? Did you know eclipses actually make no sense on the heliocentric model? I'm gonna explain why. So all these planets, right, they were created from the Big Bang. Gravity caused all of them to become balls. They're all orbiting the sun irregularly at different speeds, miles an hour. How do you think that the sun and the moon align like perfect billiard balls in the sky every 19-18 years from the Big Bang? Seriously. It doesn't stop there, though. You know how they perfectly line up to the exact, like they're just perfect quarters cut to line up to each other? They say that that's happening from the sun being 400 times bigger and coincidentally somehow 400 times farther. From a cosmic explosion from a central point, like... But make sure you're following me. I just got banned at 80K yesterday, and if you think the moon is a solid rock, think again, we're seeing through it. Stop what you're doing right now. This video could change your entire life outlook. You know what lava looks like, right? Like, we know what lava looks like as it's hot. Runs kind of like a river finding its level. Do you think that lava would ever form sacred, geometrical shapes, like hexagonal shapes or anything? Seriously, just to make sure that nobody thinks that this is possible, that hexagonal shapes would be formed from volcanoes or lava. Look at it when it's hardened. Look, like a black river or something. I've shown you what lava looks like cooled and hot from a volcano. And we're told that this was formed from a volcano. Yeah. Remember Avatar? The huge tree that was cut down? Might have been a little bit of reality mixed in with that science fiction, but look how level this is on top, and is this sawdust from... Now, before I start reprogramming your brain, look, it makes a lot more sense, man, than lava, seriously, like spring wood, summer wood, hexagonal shapes, like, you thought it was one example? No, these trees were all over. Look at this. Yeah. Look at that. Would you look at that? More hexagonal. Look at that. Look at the root system. Like, coming. This guy owns this. He lives in a tree. This guy's gotta be insane energy. This guy's gonna live forever. Yeah. Yeah, like the roots. See the roots? You'll see the roots going up, and then the tree was cut down. Yeah, I don't know how big these things were. I have no idea. Pretty odd, like, formation. Like, completely level on the top. Maybe like it was cut down by a giant axe. Not seeing it? I don't know how. I don't know how you wouldn't. This is an axe. See? Easy. Easy to understand. The trees are just the beginning of the lies, though, if you're new here. While I've got your attention, global warming is not real. The sea levels aren't rising, guys. The Earth is also flat. There's no convexity to the Earth. Railguns can hit targets 100 miles away. That's 6,666 feet of missing curvature, guys. That's a weird number. The sun moves. The moon moves. The stars move. But the Earth is completely stationary. Like, just look at flight path landing. Seriously. This was an emergency flight path landing. How did they land thousands of miles in Los Angeles quickly? Like, that would take like hours. But on a flat Earth map, probably flying right over it. I'm not trying to come off like one of those crazy conspiracy theorists, but if the North Pole looks like this, what were our ancestors on? Like, how did they... Like, over and over again. This wasn't just one. Like, they kept drawing these 4 continents with 4 rivers. Like, maybe something to think about. Is Antarctica a continent? Or is it an ice wall encompassing the level Earth that we live on, containing the water? Because water always needs a container. It always lays level, dude. Like, everybody knows this, right? Water on a lake, water in the sea, water in the pool. Let's see, level at the top. It's all level, okay? And then you've got this. Like, big problems, guys. No container and no level water on this curved oblate spheroid, ellipsoid, pear, whatever you guys believe it is. And by the way, this is CGI. This isn't a photograph. This is an image produced from a computer. Big difference, guys. Big difference. But anyway, if you didn't know, we don't have a working flat Earth model because 1, we're not allowed to go to the North Pole, and 2, we're not allowed to go past the 60th south latitude right here. And you can see the maximum penalty down here in the red box. I know some of you guys are real thick. You really want a spoon-fed to you. This is the Antarctic Treaty. The provisions of the present treaty shall apply to the area south of the 60th south latitude, including all ice shelves. Keep reading if you please. Also, is there a dome out there? The firmament? Dome, Valkyrie Dome, Dome Argus, Dome A, Dome C. I'd have no idea if there's a dome. Again, we're not allowed to go out there. But do you guys know who Captain Cook is? And you probably haven't heard about James Clark Ross, because the indoctrination camps we all went through, that we call public school, definitely didn't teach me about him. They circumnavigated the Antarctic wall. It took them 3 to 4 years on a boat, and they tracked 60,000 miles. And again, this thing's supposed to only have a shoreline of 11 to 12,000. How did they manage to go 60? Why would they lie to us? Do you know how much resources could be out here? Oil, fish, food. Maybe they're not being ran by pedophiles? I don't know. NASA stands for not a space agency. Just a bunch of gatekeepers, guys. Just a bunch of gatekeepers. And before you say, dude, you can go to Antarctica. You can pay to go there on a trip, man. $13,000 to do this. And look at this. This is where they're taking you. Go around little island. Look at it from the bigger picture, guys. But don't just blindly believe me. I'm just a guy on TikTok. You should definitely do your own research. But if you want more content like this, in my opinion, check out my link tree in my bio and make sure you're following me here. I got banned at 80,000 followers. You may say, if the Earth were flat, wouldn't pilots tell us? Like, wouldn't they whistleblow and like tell everyone? They have. Pilots have told us that the Earth is flat before, but usually they get grounded and fired, so they refrain. Don't believe me? Check out this video I made for you.
Question to ask, flat or a ball?
Flat or a ball? What's that?
Well, I never feel as breaking round. If we live on a ball, surely we'd have to fly around it. Yeah, it feels like flat or a ball.
Flat, not a ball.
Did you notice any curvature while we were up there?
No.
No? What'd you see while we were up there?
This is the blue sky, white clouds.
Yeah, is it flat or?
Pretty flat.
Pretty flat?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question. Is there like a specific angle of downward tilt you have to fly at to
3 degrees.
3 degrees for the curvature of the Earth?
Oh, for the Earth?
Because
No, we just fly over the troposphere.
really,
Yeah.
do you have to keep like kind of going down because
No, we actually have to nose up. It flies.
really? Because I was reading some stuff on the flat Earth that made a lot of sense. Have you looked into it?
This one?
I was reading a lot of stuff on the flat Earth.
Okay, yeah. True.
It's true?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
All right.
God bless, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Did you notice any curvature while we were up there?
Curvature, no.
No, there's no curvature.
It's just all flat.
I got a couple of serious questions to ask you.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there's a big time. Curvature.
Curvature.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't allow for curvature, do we?
Yeah. What do you think? Usually.
No, we're round. We're a disc. Quite seriously?
Yeah.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah.
What's up, pilots? Is the Earth flat or round?
Flat.
Thanks. I'm with you.
Wait. Were you under the impression that seasons suggest that we're on a ball? Oh, dude. No. Seasons actually prove that the Earth is flat. Let me explain. So I'm supposed to believe that the sun is 93 million miles away from the Earth, and seasons are caused by the simple tilt of the Earth as it orbits the sun? Yeah, there's a lot of problems with the heliocentric model, but this one's really obvious. The sun rays are coming in 93 million miles away. Again, just picture this. The rays are traveling through a space vacuum, 93 million miles, the warmth of the sun, 93 million miles, and I'm supposed to believe that the tilt of the Earth causes winter and summer. And the angle of the light coming in does this. If the warmth from the sun is already traveled 93 million miles, I don't think it would care for the simple tilt of the Earth. A couple hundred miles, throw a million on there. I don't think it would cause summer and winter. But it only gets worse the more I look into this model. The perihelion of any orbit of a celestial body about the sun is the point where the body comes nearest to the sun. It is opposite for the aphelion. The perihelion, us being closest to the sun, is in January. When I have winter, 91.4 million miles away. And the aphelion is in July, 94.5 million miles away. So I'm supposed to believe that during summer, we're farthest away from the sun, and during winter, we're closest to the sun? Doesn't make any sense. But in reality, on the flat Earth model, the sun is just getting closer and farther away from the North Pole, causing seasons. For example, on the sun's most inner rotation around our flat Earth, that's when Alaska can see its 24-hour day. And Antarctica never can see a 24-hour day. Those videos are fake. They were done over, 3 days. They took 3 different sunsets, laid them over each other. It's all been proven. But before you go on enjoying your night, remember this model spawned from the Big Bang, just a random explosion, okay? How is there so many 6s just perfectly lining up around this globe if it came from a cosmic explosion? And seriously, I'm seeing way too many people wearing AirPods. It's same amount of radiation as an airport extreme router, guys. Throw this crap in the trash right now. But if you want more truth on your TikTok, make sure you're following me. And if you want it on your other socials, check my link tree. I've got all my stuff there. And is this a coincidence? Now, I'm sure that you've seen this picture before, the Chicago skyline being seen from 60 miles away. Mainstream media told everybody that this was nothing but a superior mirage, so I said I better study mirages a little bit, and I did last night, and you're not gonna believe what I found. But let's get the basics down. There's an inferior mirage, which mirages things down, the virtual image down, and then there's a superior mirage, which mirages things up, but reflects it. This is due to cold air stacking onto warm air and vice versa. Give you some examples. Superior mirage, another superior mirage. And if you're a critical thinker, you're already thinking, how is this a superior mirage if this is a superior mirage? If it reflects the image upside down, they're actually saying that this is a Fata Morgana mirage. You can read here about them. Here's an example of a Fata Morgana mirage. Another example. So now you're thinking, okay, like, makes a little more sense, but why would it be directly connected to the skyline? If it wasn't the skyline, it would be up. Like, I don't know, still problems, but what if I told you that this type of mirage isn't happening either, though? I messed with the contrast, the brightness, and other things, and I'm seeing the skyline again, guys. I'm wondering if this isn't the skyline here, and this is just a wind line that came through and caused the ripples in the water. And I did the same thing for the other picture. Do this yourself. And is that the skyline actually right there? Right behind the boat going across? And this is again another wind line creating an optical illusion? I'd say yes. So guys, don't get misled when you're looking into superior mirages. This doesn't happen. Ever. You think that the bottom of this boat was perfectly just gonna be refracted into the sky, not connected, like dude, seriously guys, you just magic, huh? They think you're so stupid. Seriously. They're saying that this is a superior mirage. The sun backlighting the Chicago skyline, they think you're this dumb. Really? Wow. And I'm not gonna name call today, but there's a specific heliosexual going around on lives saying that inferior mirages are the curvature of the earth. No. Inferior mirages are the most common mirage that we'll see over the ocean. There's no curvature to the earth. Look how obvious this is, though. Look at this Fata Morgana mirage. Oh, it's just a wind line. They tried to get away with this one too. They tried to tell you this one was too. This is a wind line coming through. This is water. This is reality. You want more content like this? Follow me and check out my link tree in my bio. You may have been misled to believe that tides make sense on the apparent oblate spheroid that we're living on, but I'm here to tell you, absolutely not. And if you're new here, yes, the Earth is flat. And before anyone comments that this is a projection of the globe, absolutely not. Scientifically and practically correct as it is. But what the science community is force-feeding down everyone's throat about tides is that the moon is actually pulling the oceans away from the earth. So let's just get an idea of the scale here. This is the earth next to the moon. So I'm logically thinking, okay, so how much gravity does the moon have then? If it's strong enough to pull out I don't know how much ocean water's in the ocean. We'll check in a second. 16.6% of that of the Earth's. So if I'm to jump into fantasy land, this ball is big, so it has more gravity. This ball is small, so it has less gravity. How is this ball's gravity being smaller than this ball, superseding the gravitational pull of this ball to pull out oceans miles high? You're joking, right? You guys are kidding. This has to be a joke. How did I not see this before? How did I not see this earlier? Question. How? So, 0. Dark blue is 0. So, 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. 0. How is there zero tides? Zero tides? Zero tides? How does zero tides work if we're on a pair? But my boy Collingworth picked up a pen and pencil and wrote down this masterpiece. I'm not sure if this is exactly how the tides work, because the tides is very complex, and don't worry, we're still going to answer how much gallons of water is in the ocean. Tides are caused by the gentle and gradual rise and fall of the earth on the bosom of the mighty deep. So you can see this is their model, this is what they believed. I'm not saying this is exactly what's going on, because I've also been made aware that our ancestors were drawing pictures like this. This is the North Pole, so I don't know if tides are like coming in and out of these 4 rivers. Something could be going on with that too. But let's find out how many gallons of water the moon is apparently pulling out. But if you want more obvious truths, like the moon definitely isn't causing tides at all, make sure you're following me. And I'm going to tag my backup account down below. Make sure you're following there. And check out my link tree in my bio. Have a good one.